All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we are already live with the knife round here for our third out of four matches this evening. Once again, it's Liquid versus Threes Up over here on Cash once again. And Threes Up with, wow, that knife round's going really quick. Okay, that's going to be Threes Up winning that one. What was that, like 5 seconds after people started stabbing each other? The Threes Up's going to win it, of course. Threes Up, we talk about them. Big story coming out here, I believe just today with them, correct, Moses?
Yeah, I mean, there were rumors swirling around last night about it, but today it was officially announced that, they bring in Professor Chaos, they bring in Mo, so they've got a whole new lineup. This is really their first match together, and actually I was talking to Abe a little bit about it last night, and he was just like, yeah, we have like 9 matches in the next 5 days, so we really don't have time to mesh this lineup. It's kind of trial by fire, and to be honest with you, with Liquid playing the way they have been lately, I'm not sure it matters what side of the map that Threesup picks. I mean, Liquid might just blow them out of the water here. They've got to get out to a hot start, and you can see Abe being very, very aggressive towards this middle, this red box in mid. He's right under the boost box, and he's looking for anything, but he's not finding anything. Liquid playing it very far back, very slow-paced, waiting for any kind of aggression.
Pico, of course, lined up inside of Squeaky here, too, waiting for his chance to just burst out and catch anybody that may be rotating back in to support the rest of the team, but already gets himself into a position. However, Liege and Nitro find those two openers. No response coming in as of yet, but now Jason R gets his opportunity, too. He's going to be able to take down Liege and Nitro again with the response. Overall, a very strong opener here comes out from Liquid. The Liege and Nitro picking up 3 kills in total. Mo going to get a nade to the face here in just a second and finished off by a Dren. So that leaves it all in the hands of Professor Chaos, and there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do at this point, as A-Site control has been given, and Team Liquid are already sort of on the case in terms of figuring out where Professor Chaos is hiding out at.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just a very quick assault by Liquid, and they just explode out of that bomb site, and this could be happening this entire half, basically. That front line of Liquid is so hard to deal with at times, and even, I mean, when you think about it, too, Threesup's got to have a really good CT side, but because when you switch over towards, when Liquid's on their defense, they have one of the best A defenses on this map in the entire region of North America, so, I mean, it's just going to be that much harder for Threesup to do some work on their T side.
And they are going to go for the buy-up here. Not a super big one, but it is enough, of course, to stunt them a little more here as they go for a couple upgraded pistols. 257s, a CZ on a Professor Chaos, and then P250s on a Jason R and Mo, as they try to work to do a little bit of damage here in the second round. Liquid, though, sparing no expense to go right for their rifles. 4 to 5 go for that buy-up. And Adren, of course, looking to get a little bit more extra money into the bank here to be able to afford that op. He's going to go right for the MAC-10, but actually Arya catching one to begin this back over towards Highway. I don't think they were expecting a big presence to be there, so Arya's going to be able to take down Nitro, and, of course, we'll see Adren trading this one out for the AK now.
This is actually very fortunate because the bomb's all alone in mid right now. This is a very scary situation where if Adren had fallen as he's making his way up Highway, all of a sudden, the CTs have the bomb down and easily defensible. But either way, they got aggressive over towards B. Finally, now they're streaming in towards mid. And the AKs at this kind of a range should be able to clean everything out. There should be no issues for Liquid moving forward. The only thing that Fugly's got to worry about is watching flank for his teammate because they have Professor Chaos who's pushed up towards the red box.
And if anybody, Professor Chaos is going to be the player they want to make sure that stays alive because he's still got full armor at this point. If he can make it out with this one, that's going to be a very cheap upgrade to the head armor when they do get the guns in their hands, take some damage, but you can even tell he wants to play this very far back here as Fugly does manage to keep himself alive for now, but he's going to hug that corner, takes one out, now low on some ammo. He's only got 1 shot left, and takes the risk on that one. It's very close, but it looks like we are going to be looking at Fugly surviving with just 17 HP left. He's going to get dropped, so no armor being saved. Hiko finds another kill on Jason R as well. And then Abe does manage to pick up this MAC-10 before the round ends, but still, considering what they did have before, not going to be too big of a save.
And really not much in the hands of Threesup. They haven't really invested too much. No armor that round. They did upgrade some pistols. Mo's still got 3,300. It looks like he's not really investing a whole lot into these rounds. He does have a salvaged MAC-10, and he hands that over to Arya, but for a 5-7, but he's going to be the opper, so I'm assuming they want to just grab him and op as quick as humanly possible going into the next round. And this is pretty interesting, actually. This entire pickup of Mo, I want to talk about it during this anti-eco round, because I mean, Mo is just in Serbia playing with the States team for the World Championship, where you were at casting. Ooh, nice kill by Professor Chaos, and there goes the response, but actually this is a stack, so hold that thought. Here it comes. Elige drops out of vents. He grabs Professor Chaos. Mo does chime in, but Elige is still wreaking havoc, and now it's down to a 3-on-1. There's Arya coming in with a MAC-10, building up a little bit of a bank, but he's forced back in towards CT spawn, but he's going to come through this smoke, try and make something happen, but they spot him before the smoke plume. Eco sprays him down. But to continue that thought, I mean, Arya even talked about it, I think I heard it on one of the professional players' stream, about how it was a really interesting roster to work with at the World Championship because they had Arya, they had Mo, and they had JDM. And all three of these guys were primary oppers for their teams leading into the championship. I mean, Mo's always been a primary op. Arya was primary for 3-sup. JDM obviously was CLG. So it's going to be really interesting, this new roster switch up. There's going to be a lot of role changes for this team. It's going to take them time to get back into the swing of things because they essentially have now 2 primary oppers on the squad, and someone's going to have to give it up.
Yeah, and I imagine there's, with Mo being on the squad, I imagine there's going to be a little bit of a battle potentially between those two, unless Arya just wants to seed it to see who's going to end up taking that spot. But it looks like, at least for now, Mo is going to be picking that one up as Ari just goes right for the rifle by Team Liquid, of course. So able to actually manage themselves pretty nicely on the previous round, considering the way it started off. Some nice patience and overall good composure allows them to end up coming out on top despite a kind of okay start from 3-up there, with it still being an eco round for themselves. But now we go into the gun round, of course, the first big test for a lot of these teams. Professor Chaos way out in the open. He's going to end up getting shut down, but Jason R in the Shroud spot. They haven't spotted it yet. Finds one, finds two. He's going to be able to take that Nitro into Dren. Now looking for another one as he drops down, but that light post actually stops him, so he can't get the kill onto the player that's going to be inside Mo. Still holds strong with his own up, finds one. Hiko finds the trade over onto Mo, and now it's just going to be Abe trying to move in, trying to work for something. A 1-on-2. Fugly's very, very low, and he's moved off site, but Hiko rolls right out from Forklift, picks up the easy headshot, and there is going to be Liquid again, just barely squeaking through, coming out on top near the end.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of miscommunication coming out with the new roster. You see Professor Chaos was run boosting Jason R, but he goes a little bit too far, falls right down in front of the red box, and the Terrorists are already in that A main and just blast him down basically for free. So that's just kind of an error based on new team chemistry. So Liquid goes up 4-0, and now it's back onto the save. Adren gets an AWP at his hands off Mo. And moving forward, I mean, 3-Sup's going to have to stabilize next round because they saved basically those 2 rounds. They didn't invest into armor, so that was their round that they were saving up to win.
And Mo again just sitting himself way out in the open towards middle, looking to see if he can catch anybody from Liquid early on, but there's a lot of resistance coming his direction and a little bit more noise being made back over here towards A once again as well. Definitely not going to be committed that far in, and Ari as well pushes in, but it's kind of funny from my point of view, but Adren just shuts that down nice and quick. Mo, though, with a nice response, actually catches Hiko off guard there inside of Squeaky, so the rest of Liquid going to try to push through, maybe look for that response, but it looks like it might be getting winged off here for the time being. And in just a second here, too, with Mo pushing forward with that AK, thankfully, with him not having armor, that's an easy kill for Nitro to pick up, but that could have gone a completely different direction and changed the landscape of this round in a pretty big way. However, now as they push in, and again, not a whole lot left, Adren picks up a nice shot over on a Jason R. Nitro's well cleaning up Professor Chaos, and it's just going to be Abe. Unfortunately, not a whole lot left that he can do.
No, it really isn't. He can't even really try and salvage a weapon. He could try and go for some kind of kill here at the end, but either way, Liquid's got a stranglehold onto this bomb site, that op at long range. He's not even going to get a chance. So moving into the next round, I mean, this is the scary part. Mo will be able to afford an AWP if he wants it, but it'll more than likely be, glass cannon, and if he can afford armor, it's going to be without very many nades, so that's going to put him onto a little bit of a hindrance, but this is going to be a pretty strong buy at a 3-sup other than that opper, and they're going to have to win it. And if they don't win this one, it's just going to snowball out of control. Liquid is just too good entering it out of these bomb sites. They're going to start purchasing 4 spies. They're going to be light on utility, and Liquid's going to take advantage of that.
So for Liquid now, they go up 5, and again, another pretty clean round here. Some of these have been somewhat dodgy, but they finally get one now where they keep all 4 alive here, and you can already tell, too, on some of the bigger players here that have been sitting back. The money's actually looking very, very good already, with Adren and Hiko sitting at 8.1 and 7.4, respectively. The other front-forward riflers here, Lige, Nitro, and Fugly, are still having to work that build it up a little bit, but again, 3-up, of course, not even picked up a single round yet. They don't have anything built up, so Liquid having that little bit of an edge on them is definitely going to help, and we do see Mo getting a little bit aggressive along with Abe there to try to push themselves forward. Not really anything else coming out of Liquid as they play pretty default spots here, but they are actually able to catch it. There's nothing in back B halls for the time being, so they can use some of that information, of course, to judge where this bomb may be going. But at the same time, again, with it happening so early in the round, there could still very well be a rotation from Liquid at any time over towards this avenue, so they can't really do a jerk rotation to put like all 5 on A or something like that.
Look at how far back Team Liquid is right now.
Yeah, it's weird because I think they were like expecting this push to come in a very big way, but for some reason
it was because Adren had lagged out. He just rejoins now, so they were just waiting for the time to come through. Sorry, I actually didn't notice that for whatever reason. I didn't see him drop out of the server, so it happened after the pause, so they just waited back to let him rejoin the server. And they still haven't moved, so I'm assuming it's going to be a match medic or some kind of a pause. I am not sure how that's going to work.
Admin's talking about it now. Looks like they might just restart that round because obviously I think that happened before like any crucial impact was made on that round by either team. So I'll wait for a final decision on that, but of course that'll take a moment here. So for the time being, we're told in the actual server it is paused while they try to sort that one out. But still, Team Liquid, of course, being up, and it's no surprise for the reasons you had already discussed with the Threes Up roster just having a couple of changes coming into play. It's definitely going to take some time for them to sort of piece things together here and figure out how they want to work this. And again, we haven't really seen too much of this team as of yet, of course. We've only seen these 5 rounds, so not a whole lot to judge off of as of yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, the big thing is, I mean, losing Pistol, and then they had that one slight miscommunication error on the 4th round. I mean, it hasn't really been too massive of any kind of mistakes. It was really small. It just happens on a crucial round where immediately afterwards they have to save. So, yeah, hopefully, last night, I mean, we saw, the Method roster last night on Cash have a much better T side. We just saw them get crushed, but I mean, or not crushed, they lose in overtime, but they lose to 3 players in Europe. But I mean, part of it is these new rosters, the CT sides are the hardest one to kind of gel that communication, gel that chemistry, because you have all these complex rotations. You don't get to dictate the action. It's much easier on T side with the new roster to just say, you go here, and we're going to explode at this point. On CT side, you have to be able to read the team. You have to very, very good comms. It's much less easier to group up and make the right call. So that's kind of where the struggle comes in with new rosters.
All right, so reading from what I was just told by the admin, I don't think we're going to restart that round. I think it's going to stick. Yeah, because I think it was a crash, not a server issue. So I believe that is not going to be reset actually, and it looks like we're just going to stick with the scoreline. So Threes Up get a little bit lucky there as they kind of get handed a free round off of a technicality. And Liquid, of course, not too much off their shoulders as they're not really going to lose anything either except for Adren going down.
Yeah, very interesting. Still paused, though, so they're still talking things over. And we've had 2 overtime matches in a row, so why don't we take a quick break, and we will come back, and we'll have all the intel on what's going to be going down, what the final decisions are when this goes back live. We'll keep you guys updated.
And we're back!
I tried my best.
Welcome back, ladies.
I tried my best.
When we went for that last break, I let you go in case the match went live. Really? Man, I'm going to need one soon, dude.
I need to get out of
his chair.
It's all right. We're back into it. So it is 5-1. It doesn't look like there's any kind of a restart. And Team Liquid lining up basically for an A hit. There's going to be 2 in A main, still playing a little bit far back, waiting for any kind of a pop flash peek. It's only Jason R. He's got an M4. He's hiding back in quad right now. He sees the door open. That's going to cause Arya to rotate back, so they have a small crossfire, one on top of balcony, but Fugly over towards the B-bomb site. He takes out Abe, who is getting aggressive, but Mo's following up with it with the AWP, grabs the angle, misses the shot, though. Now he's been spotted out, and there's a Dren from door with the picks off Arya. All of a sudden, 5-on-3, and Liquid has the run of the entire map, but Jason R does get one before being traded out.
And now at this point, too, not a whole lot left for these players from Threes Up to work with. A couple nades getting tossed in, but Fugly back over in middle. Nobody even caught him. Mo able to take him out. A little bit late on this, but now he's in a 1-on-3. And again, it might just be much more worth his money and time to just fall back and save at this point, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Liquid will be able to pick up one round, of course. Threes Up to escape with the lucky one there, but Liquid get themselves right back onto the treadmill after this one. Although Mo is actually going to test things a little bit there. It does get a little bit wiser. And I think he's going to fall back to try and play a little bit of a ring around the rosy, maybe making his way into A main and catching some of these, or catching a safe spot after the bomb blows up.
Yeah, Mo's got to save the state AWP. No chance at winning this round, and that's a huge weapon to save into the next round. Even though with that round win going towards Threes Up, I mean, Abe's got 4,400, and that's kind of the thing that idea that Team Liquid had that things were going to get medicked was detrimental, that they didn't even try and execute any kind of a strategy. They just waited that out, so they didn't build up any bank. Meanwhile, Threes Up got to save all their guns and build up a little bit of a bank. So you can see there's going to be another really, really solid buy round out of them this round.
And with that coming into play here as well, we'll take a look at, with what Threes Up were able to pull out this time, with Liquid still being strong, and, Liquid pretty much not having a single strike that hasn't worked for them as of yet here, as they've basically been having an easy time rolling into these sites. They've had a couple close trades, but at the end of the day, Liquid almost always manages to bring it back into their favor and hold a very strong advantage, which I think is one of the big problems here for Threes Up. They can trade at the beginning, but they lose a lot of players, and it ends up being an even trade, and the rotations just don't come in quickly enough, so they end up with that kind of problem. But anyway, we'll go into a very quick one. Jason R picks up the first kill, but Adren, quick on the trigger, they're able to trade that one out. Now Arya trying to work his way back in. The smokes will help him out a little bit to get to a position on the site, and he's going to catch Nitro off guard. That's the bomb going down here, too. That's going to be left out in the open. And so far, no other response coming out from Liquid as they try to get everybody else onto the site. Threes Up have good control, and again, that kill that comes out from Ari actually buys them the time now to get the rest of the rotations here. So they should be able to maintain. Adren goes for the nice shot there, and Fugly also picks up a kill over onto Arya, but Mo as well with the Adren finally finishing off A, but the doors are quickly closing all around him. And Professor Chaos getting himself over there onto Opry, finishes off with Fugly and Adren. So finally give Threes Up their first kind of legitimate round here.
Yeah, and Threes Up now is a double op setup essentially for free. I think Liquid just kind of has got caught off guard that round by the fact that it's only been Jason R defending that A bomb site. They get in, they get that first kill, and they're expecting a second person to be somewhere, but Threes Up's defense isn't just set up to have that. So they don't stream into the bomb site, they don't get the bomb planted. That allows all those rotations to come up towards truck, and then Threes Up can just, streamline into the bomb site before any kind of a plant can happen. This time Liquid changes things up. They're out mid very, very quickly, very aggressively. Mo takes a shot around the edge of the smoke, but doesn't land it. And all of a sudden, this defense has been pushed back. They're going to boost up into the vents to try and regain some semblance of mid control, but all of Team Liquid is just waiting.
And Aim's going to have to be very, very careful with this one. Right now, it's the floodgates are open, but Liege corrects the aim very fast and is able to take him down. And so unfortunate, too, as Nitro was basically open for the taking, and he almost was able to finish him off, but he stays alive for the time being. Arya, though, does pick up one kill now as he pops his way out there and is able to catch a little bit of over-aggression that comes out from Liquid back onto that B site. So he's going to keep himself alive, relocates himself a little bit further inside of the site there, too, as he waits for more players to come in. Professor Chaos is going to come in to assist in that. Smoke comes over there towards teammate 2, but at the same time, he's going to get hit with one, so he's got to overexpose. Finishes off one, tries to transfer the spray, but Liege is going to be able to take him down, and now it all falls into the hands of Arya once again. Picks the first kill. Hiko finds a trade. More coming in from heaven now as Jason R might be able to find Hiko, but he doesn't want to pop out here, and that gives Hiko the time to get into a position along with Adren to finish him off. So now it's just Mo in a 1-on-2 again. Rotating in here, there's the last one to assist. Nade bounces pretty good, brings Hiko down to 47, but still not a whole lot left that he can do, and Hiko's just going to jump right out and finish him off.
Yeah, I mean, they just overwhelmed that B bomb site. This is a couple times now where Team Liquid is just that first kill happens, and there's not a lot of rotation. Threes Up can't get, members over to that B bomb site, and they eventually just pound into it, and it's basically a 3 or 4 onto 1. So Team Liquid up 7-2. Now they've broken the economy of Threes Up, resetting their money. It's 2 rounds were won by Threes Up, but immediately Team Liquid responds, so resets that money bonus building up, and now it's a save. Full save, no armor investment, just Professor Chaos has light armor. It's CZs across the board, 157 onto Mo. But Liquid, they're going to play far back once again, looking for any kind of aggression on this light buy from Threes Up, and all the aggression is pushed back.
And it looks like here that we'll slowly see Threes Up trying to close in on some of these guys. Some good damage going back over here onto Elise, but not enough to finish it off as Mo does some good damage. But again, it's just them two and Adren as well, finishing it off. Fugly picking up a third. Fugly with another one. And again, just down to Abe.
Yeah, that's a really good call in the anti-eco round. Understanding it's going to be a save from Threes Up, and they just stay far back, and Threes Up just kind of walks into their crosshair and get mowed down. So once again, just down to one Threes Up player in a 1-on-5 situation. And there's really nothing he can do here. It might be actually, I mean, if you can find a Dren or a Liege, those are some easy kills. They're at 3 and 30 HP respectively, so that's just 1 or 2 bullets that could find him an easy kill, but I doubt Liquid gives that up.
And Abe's going to move in, finds one, almost corrects the aim for the second, but Hiko with a quick trade. And again, there, as you mentioned, Team Liquid just taking it nice and steady. Able to pick up those kills. A little bit hairy at some point there, as we almost saw Mo picking up the kill, and they did manage to finish him off at one point, but that's going to be all they'll grab. As again, Team Liquid remains strong, remain very much so in the lead at this point, and Threes Up with a very, very large avenue to work back from. They're actually going to go for the double save here, too. I'm assuming this is to get the full op buy with utility there on Mo as well, as they wouldn't have been able to afford it this time. So they're going to save up once again here in this round, and that could potentially now be a 9th point for Liquid, which is really going to start leaning into a pretty big lead for these guys when you consider this map to be a pretty even when it comes to the side differentials at the end of it.
Yeah, but I mean, the brutal thing is already down 7 or 8-2. They're forced onto a double eco, and Jason R does trade off eco. But either way, Liquid, massive advantage. Now they've taken complete mid control. Once again, it's just Jason R at this A bomb site. He's completely isolated from his teammates. The only real option he has is to push and be aggressive, but on the other side of the map, Professor Chaos falls. And now it's just completely split whatsoever. So Nitro drops Jason R. Liquid just cleaning house on the Santa Eco. Abe does get one onto Nitro, but he's got another one to deal with, and he grabs that as well. That's the two low HP players. He can at least salvage an AK-47. And actually, he's just guessing the bomb is coming towards this B bomb site because he hears one, but the bomb's not there. It's going to get planted. And he's got zero chance of saving this weapon. He's got to take this fight with Fugly, and he does. And he wins it, so now he's going to be able to save. But actually, it spins, and it looks like he wants to initially go for this. But there's the long range. Yeah.
And that actually was very plausible, to be honest, as him clutching that out. Just a bit unfortunate that, again, he kind of mischose the bomb side. I imagine if he went over towards A, we also would have seen the flank coming into play there, too, from the other Liquid player that had pushed into that B side initially. So, bit of an unfortunate situation for him. He makes the best of it, though. Gets a whole lot of kills at the end of that one. Picks up 3 to 4 there, but not going to be enough in order to close things out, of course. And although some nice damage will be done to Liquid and their money's going to be kept low, it's not enough here with such a big round differential already coming into play. And 3's up, though. They have done that double save, and it's going to be enough to get them that big buy round they were looking forward to. Mo's got full utility and the op buy, but they've got to come out on top here, and it's got to be kept consistent from this point forward. Otherwise, Liquid are just going to absolutely run away with the half, as we're only just a few rounds left here in the first one.
Professor Chaos getting into a little bit of a spam battle into the door, but this is another spread out default from Liquid. Just trying to spot any aggression and just eventually make a decision in the mid round. This time, though, 3-sup changes things up. They have 3 players leaning over towards that A bomb site. It's just Arya who's close towards vents. He's actually going to jump above mid. He's on these rafters, but just drops down as I say that to watch mid. So realizing that their A defense has been weak with just Jason R playing there, they switch things up. Jason R is going to frag Hiko, who is in the doorway, takes that battle out towards Forklift, but loses it. It's going to be a delayed boost over towards mid. Yep, 2 players come out mid, and there's Mo. He picks one off. There goes Elige, but it's going to be an A hit, and Mo grabs another one. He's shutting this attack down.
And as they attempt to move in here, we're going to see another kill picked up by Jason R. Dren finds one, as well he's going to try to pick up another one. He finally finishes off Mo, but again, now 1-on-3. Professor Chaos still veiled behind that smoke as well. That Molly not really going to do the job I think he was hoping it to do, and now he gets completely flashed and still out in the open too. Professor Chaos shows the pushes. He could have a very easy kill in his hands, but he slowly creeps in, and there we go. There's the shot to the back the way we're looking for. Professor Chaos finishes it off, and good shots from Mo there coming up to clean things up. Jason R as well does a nice job of just holding on to finish off the round for himself and his teammates there. So finally we see another 3's up, as we kind of were expecting there too. With them saving up for so long, they put a lot of emphasis onto that round, so it's good if they end up coming out on top. If they lost, that would have been an absolutely huge detriment. But even worse now could be, if they drop this one, of course, then that could be the next 2 rounds easily going the way of Liquid, and they could just absolutely run away with a 12-3 half from that point forward.
This time it's a pretty quick committal for Liquid into A main. They've gotten this control, but look at the door push out of 3-sup. Mo picks off at Hiko. Jason R grabs Nitro, spinning around from door, but they're in the open. They've got to try and get away with this. Liquid is trying to spam through the smoke to get these kills. Adren knows there's one over towards the boost box, but they've lost 2 members already. Finally, Jason R gets dropped, but they're already down into a 2-on-4, so another good round from 3-sup, looking good defensively.
They're still going to keep Arya positioned back over here by the B site, so if we can see some nice entries made, they may be able to equalize the equation, but unfortunately, when you look at the bot coming out here from Liquid, and the fact that both players now still sitting right around 50 HP for the most part, Mo even picking up one, maybe another one here in a second too, as he could potentially be looking at a 3K this time. Elige, fortunately, doesn't really know what to do with himself here, just hoping somebody would end up pushing inside of A main, but they're sitting constant, and as they try to run out, he does take down Mo at the very least, so he could try to work this into something, but now the rest of the players from 3's up. There was some bit of an illusion as to where Elige may have been going towards, but now they know exactly where he is, and Abe, nice and steady, picks up the final kill onto Elige as soon as he jumps out into the open.
Yeah, this is Mo. He's had a couple really good rounds here in a row. These past 2 rounds, he's really done a good job of picking off the initial attack out of Liquid, and that's just stalling him out. Now, finally, they've forced Liquid onto a save, although it's not going to be much of a save. They're going to buy up, pretty much clean out for the most part. Hiko and Nitro down to $0. Everyone else below 300. So this is a full buy out of Team Liquid on the 14th round. It's all Tech 9 armors. They have a lot of utility to work with.
And as we see Liquid once again moving over to use that utility, it's all going to work itself mainly onto the A site. Keep in mind that this could very well move itself towards another one, and we can see that positioning being taken up now. The smokes will roll in. But it could go either way now, as this could be, I think it's definitely a little bit more committed to the A side to be a fake, but we'll see in just a second here now as they throw those out, and it looks like they are going to go inside, so they're going to try for this one now. Watching out for that bit of early aggression, just in case threes try to push it, but it's actually going to be a mid-tick now as they move forward through that one, and it is indeed going to be a fake over towards the B site, taking mid-control, moving themselves into the B site, but they're ready for this one. Arya already picking up one up shot here, and hit by the headshot glitch, looking for more blood, as he does pick up one over there on Hiko with the assistance of Professor Chaos. He is going to go a little bit far out of the open, and Fugly and Nitro find some kills. Arya, I think, is going to die to fall damage here, and somehow this just falls apart, so now it's going to be Professor Chaos versus Fugly in a one-on-one. The bomb is down inside of Checkers. Professor Chaos has everything in the world he needs to work with. Not only this, but Fugly only has 34 HP and a single flash, along with his M4.
Yeah, HP really doesn't matter, though. He's going up against an AWP. He's going to try and clear out this bomb site. The bomb is dropped over in Checkers, and Professor Chaos looking up towards the top, so he has a little bit of a weak read on this one, and if Fugly clears out, I mean, oh, there's the pop flash. A missed shot for Professor Chaos gives Fugly the advantage. He gets into Checkers, gets the bomb, and now he's got to cross back into the site, so all of a sudden, Professor Chaos, he swings out with the Tech 9. He gets the kill. Fugly doesn't commit to the bomb plant. And that's going to be a nice one-on-one victory for Professor Chaos, but that buyout from Team Liquid does so much damage.
And indeed it does here now. They're going to have to go for yet another one of these very held back rounds here. We see the Tech 9 armor. They're actually going to go again with this one, of course, because it is going to be the final round, but overall, I think they were looking to surprise threes up. They definitely did the job, but it ended up coming down to a clutch situation and threes up. Of course, they're lucky to come up with a clutch that time, and they're going to pick up yet another round, bringing this back quite nicely, actually, considering they were down, I believe, like 9-2 at one point there. And now they bring it potentially into 6-9 if they can also come out on top here with this round. But Liquid not wasting any time. They're going to roll right onto the site. All the pressure goes into Jason R. He's got to wait for those rotations to move in. One's coming up highway now, but he can't maintain. Fugly's going to be able to shut down Jason R. Now Professor Chaos stuck behind the shed at this point, already taking some damage too. He's down to 40. He is going to come in and assist that kill with Mo back over there to take down a Drem, but still, they're locked out of the site, and they've got to work for a retake from square one, essentially.
Yeah, but Liquid's all out of utility. They have nothing to hold off these choke points. One's coming in on the flank. That's Arya. He's going to spray down Nitro. He's got a couple kills on the round. And there's Fugly responding, but Arya gets his third. Now it's just down to Elise, who grabs 2 kills, but it's not enough. Arya with 4 kills in the round on that big flank saves the day. He's going to get the defuse. That's going to put the half up to 9-6, so 3-sup. They make it respectable. They were getting beat up throughout this half, but they go on a 4-round win streak to close it out and give themselves an opportunity moving forward.
And now as we switch things up, of course, this is going to put Team Liquid on the CT side now when, of course, we kind of saw back over in the Cloud9 game just how much more dominant their CT side is comparatively to the T side, so that is not going to bode so well for 3-Up. Unfortunately, I haven't had too much of a chance to watch a lot of 3-Up games this season, but so far, just looking at how much stronger Team Liquid was in their performance, I don't actually no, apologies. It was the actual reverse. That Team Liquid is actually going to be a lot weaker this time. Apologies.
Well, here's the thing about Liquid is that their bomb site A defense on this map is nuts. It's been a wall for quite some time. It's been Nitro and Fugly playing in this bomb site together for, essentially since they joined the roster. So they've had a lot of experience together on this bomb site. It's going to be held very well. So 3-Sup's going to have a tough time cracking into that bomb site. Now, a lot is going to be put onto Mo in this half with that AWP. Can he find some picks to force some rotates to alleviate that defensive pressure?
And the question will be, too, is how confident is Mo even going to feel on that op? We've seen a lot of cases where sort of these mid-tier North American teams, they have trouble oftentimes working a very confident T-sided offer just because of how much more difficult that job can be. So do they even want to put it into his hands, or will we maybe see someone else picking it up? That's going to be a pretty big question, too, if Mo is actually going to feel confident in that role to begin with.
I'm sure Mo has no lack of confidence in himself. I'm sure he's feeling it. I mean, that 4-round win streak they had to close the half was largely propelled by the op of Mo. There were a couple of rounds in a row where he got the first 2 kills or 3 kills throughout the round with an AWP, slows down the attack, and then the remaining 2 rounds, Liquid's economy finally gets so low, they force by a couple times but can't win either of them. So, I mean, Mo's op has been doing some damage there at the end of the first half, and he can carry that over. To get those picks, that's going to be the crucial part, because the big thing is Dren as an opper on the CT sides, he's much stronger than he is on the Terra sides, and he chooses to opt more often on those CT sides. So, that'll be an interesting duel to see if it ever comes to fruition.
And looking again here at some more of the standout performances that have been happening from Liquid, to be honest, and I'll get the scores in a second here as soon as we actually get ourselves into the half. but I haven't really seen anybody outlying as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, you take a look at the scores. I mean, Adrena, Liege, Hiko, and Fugly, the only player that's been falling behind is Nitro. Everybody else has actually been doing a pretty good job of kind of doing their part here. There isn't really anybody lagging behind, so everybody's doing the full job of work. Kind of the same story over on the 3s up. You got Abe lagging a little bit behind, but I think he picked it up towards the end of the half too. So not really anybody that's sort of lagging behind. It needs to improve. It's just all about, you know, coming out with some more all-star performances here and being able to clutch out some rounds, which I think is one of the problems the 3s up had there, and is why Liquid went so far ahead at the beginning of that first half.
Look at this aggression out of Liquid. They've already taken over A main. They're pushing into door. They see no one there. Nitro's going to get a good flank. He spots two. He knows they boosted up. All he gets eliminated. Abe spins around, grabs a nice headshot. Now they know it's going to be split onto this A bomb site. Adrenaline Leash, really tough spot. Pinch from two angles. They fall. It's all going to be up to Fugly. He's got to get some kills as they cross. Hiko does grab one, so it's a 2-on-3, but they're already into the bomb site. Nice shot from Hiko. Can he get a second one? He can't, but he does deal some damage. These 3-step players so low.
That Molly's going to come in. Hiko finds another one, and now Abish is down to his 12 HP. There's one, stops the plant, and now Arya as well. Hiko, absolutely insane. 4K on the pistol.
That is an absolutely nuts round from Hiko.
Yep, and that's pretty much how the round went. I mean, 3s up did a good job getting into the site initially, but then Hiko came to party, and everything got shut down from that point forward.
I mean, every advantage is in the way of 3-sup. They push A main, they try something different, because the meta is normally on this map and pistol rounds right now that pretty much every team subscribes to is if you're going to get aggressive, if you're going to stack a bomb site on CT pistol, it's the B one. So Liquid tries to switch it up and push over towards A, and it gets completely obliterated, pinched, and destroyed, but Hiko is a superhero.
And 3s up now are going to invest quite a bit in this first eco to try and go and try to counter things out. It'll end up being basically a Tech 9 armor round from these guys, and Mo is going to find the opener. He just comes right at us. We get the only one to peek first, but Fugly still stable back over here by Forklift. He's going to be able to pick up another trade over on Abe, and the rest move out a little bit flubsy, but they pick up 2-3 kills, as Ari actually goes pretty crazy. Finds another kill over onto Elige too, and now they've got all the angle in the world they need to work with, and it's going to fall onto Hiko's shoulders once again to try to clutch this one out. He's the only player left alive, and it looks like 3s up might end up stealing this away, and that will really mess up the economy from Team Liquid's end.
That was a really sloppy round from Team Liquid on the anti-eco, taking some really, really poor fights, and those Tech 9s just punish them for it. And if, I mean, Abe's already followed, they could have had a team ace. Hiko's down to 18 HP, but, I mean, this is going to be basically a free round. He's not even going for this. He's just going to try and save this M4, see if he can find anything, but there's Mo. He just peeks the crack in the truck with the Fabas, takes out Hiko long range, and Liquid gets punished.
Mo's also going to be able to pick up a free M4 here too, so that's a nice upgrade to a rifle they get. I believe Professor Chaos might have gotten, this MP7 for free a little bit, and now the rest of them too just got ready for their buy-ups, whereas Liquid, they get reset essentially down to square one almost here, so they can't buy anything up, and it's the exception of a couple CZs and P250s and a little bit of utility here. They're going to try to strike back at some degree. The armor buy-up on everybody too, so they're actually going to try to take this fight, and again, this is going to be very risky in itself here, because if they flub up here, then that's just going to be that much worse for the economy, and they might have to save an extra round. Or at the very least, the round they do buy up on is going to be very, very limited utility-wise.
Arya's boosted up. He gets dinked immediately, but he keeps the spray up, and Elise jumps right into it. So nice kill from Arya, initially getting brought down. He's only at 4 HP right now, but Liquid is just getting picked apart. Abe comes over, takes out Nitro. Adred's still pushed up in the middle. He can try and find something, but there's no chance now for Team Liquid to get a stack. They just basically have to gamble and pray that 3-sup comes their way. And it's going to be a heroic individual performance to pull this one out.
The lineup isn't that bad when you take a look at it here, but with risks like that being taken, of course, that's just going to completely destroy it now. As you can see here that Fugly's even moved himself outside of middle. He's going to group up with his last teammate over here. It'll be Hiko and Fugly trying to work a hold over here onto the B site. Thankfully, they're at the right site. But in terms of this take, it's much, much more favored in the way hands of 3s up here. Fugly tries to work out. He does get a lot of nice shot over there on Jason R, but Mo as well took out his teammate, and now he's only got 9 HP, so we can't directly peek Mo back over there. He's got to hope to hold on, maybe work his way out. Drops into the smoke. I don't think he actually spotted him as he moves out. He's going to be able to take down Mo, but now he's stuck in between everybody from 3s up. So they are going to be able to finish him up.
Still a really cool play from Fugly. If he was able to get through and grab that AK-47, maybe try and save it, but not a lot of damage done there by Liquid, only grabbing 2 kills. And now they're going to be forced onto a full save for 1 round before buying up. Either way, 3-sup, they're going to put this one close. They're going to get up towards 9 rounds unless some kind of a miracle happens. There's no investment in this round whatsoever from Team Liquid, except for Fugly buys a deagle very, very late on. So we're going to see what kind of magic he could make happen with that.
And Fugly, I think, was probably the most preserved buy in the previous round, so that sort of aligns with the rest of the team's budgets here, and that's going to leave him pretty much in the same spot as everybody else. Not anything too overarching as far as the buyout is concerned, but 3s up as well here. To some degree, they know that Team Liquid are still going to be on the Seco, so when we take a look at the buys from them, Mo is still sitting down here on a Tech 9, Jason R rolling with a Mac 10, and then a Galil onto Arya as well here, just as the don't take it into full drive just as yet because they know Team Liquid are working with a very limited arsenal.
Yeah, and threesup's making the smart play, playing this pretty passive, although now they're spreading out just a little bit. Abe gets that first kill over towards the A bomb site, peeking out of A main, and it's clear now, so you can just see all the players just, letting go of the walk key and just rushing into that bomb site. Adren gets spotted up in mid, but there's nothing that these Liquid players can do. They're all huddled up into that B bomb site, gambling, see if threesup will go there, but it's not going to work out.
And Adren here, along with the rest of the team, they're just going to push forward, hope they can catch something here just by pure mass of players. And they're going to work their way into Z. And in a second here, Mo's going to get tested a little bit. They move in. He's not going to catch anybody just yet, but now he takes down Nitro, and now he knows where they are, so he's going to wrap out, but a little bit too heavily, and they actually trap him in there. Now Abe as well looks at the same thing. He moves out, catches one, but it's actually been traded out pretty evenly. However, at the end of the day here, it's just going to be left to Hiko, and he's going to get shut down by Arya at the end there. But some nice damage done. They at least pick up those 2 extra kills near the end and force those guns to be dropped off. But at the same time, when you consider what exactly they brought in, I think they lose like a Mach 10 and maybe a Tech 9 off of that play, if even that.
Yeah, didn't lose much whatsoever. Mo's got the AWP in his hands. No one on Liquid can afford one quite yet. So we do have a Famas on Fugly. The big thing to notice for Liquid is no kits. They only have 4 smokes, no Molotovs. Hiko's missing his smoke, but he's going to be playing in this B bomb site. And it's going to be a 1-3-1. 3 players come streaming out of mid. Elysian, Adren. Elysia's getting aggressive as well as Nitro. They're blinded through this smoke, and it looks like here comes the pressure from threesup. Elysian gets that first kill. Nice crossfire. Both Elysian and Nitro chiming in. And now it's going to be Hiko who's tested. He gets Molotov down in position, but no one's peeking him quite yet. There is going to be Liquid players in the vents to bail Hiko out of a tough spot. And threesup is just waiting for that rotation to come in.
Yep, and threesup just trying to play it nice and safe at this point. Hiko, the same story for him as he sits behind the box, but as they jump out, there's Arya with one. Hiko getting very close to taking down Jason R. He's going to have to peek to find the second one and almost gets taken down by Arya, but for some reason, he doesn't go for the shot. Mo picks up one with the out, but Adren immediately trades that for a kill back over into Arya. And now it's just Mo. Looks for the shot. He's going to miss, and Hiko shuts him down there to give Liquid the first real gun round, I should say, in this half.
Yeah, that attempt out mid just gets shut down beautifully by Elysian and Nitro. They actually, both of them were pretty blind for the first couple seconds. Just threesup doesn't get out fast enough to take advantage of it. And coming through smoke, I mean, they just couldn't recover their vision in time to get those kills. Either way, nice defense from Team Liquid. They shut it down. Mo could still afford another op going forward into this round. They had quite the bank built up after winning those 2 anti-ecos. Or those 3 rounds straight. Excuse me.
And now Mo's going to push forward here inside of A main. Look out for any early aggression from Liquid, but again, they keep it nice and stable as far as their positions are concerned. Elige, again, also overarches himself a little bit, but at the same time, no one from threesup is even in that area. They're fairly grouped up right now, potentially to make a little bit of a push over here onto the A site to come under the default time. Professor Chaos leads the charge, but he gets mollied, so he's going to have to hold back and rely on his teammates to make a way. And there's not a whole lot of defense here from Liquid. It's way back in the site, but thankfully Adren is going to pick up the first shot anyway. Now Fugly, of course, sitting back here in quad 2, waiting for that, and the smoke wall is perfect to hold these players back, but Mo gets the first one through threesup. He's going to be able to catch Adren. Gets another one through the smoke there with the assistance coming in from Jason R. So they'll take him down. Nitro still holds by the big red, and he's actually going to find Jason R. and Abe now. But Mo finally shuts him down. He's up to 3 kills now, and it's all on Hiko. He's going to move in. Should have a pretty good idea as to where Mo is, but unfortunately can't see him through the smoke. And Mo jumps up, but spots him. The shot comes in. It connects on Hiko, but it's not going to be enough. And Mo jumps down, finishes off Hiko. And what a huge round from Mo.
Yeah, really, really nice round from Mo. Just in general, a great round from threesup. They smoke off that A bomb site, and they just ignore it. Instead of trying to come through and swarm that bomb site, they push out towards truck, they push out towards highway, and they find some kills. And that left Fugly and Nitro completely isolated in the A bomb site. And aside from a couple kills from Nitro, there was no response on the defense from Liquid. So a good gun round from threesup. Resets the economy of Liquid as well. That's the key, because now it's going to be an easy round for threesup to equalize.
Nitro's going to push right through into garage, too, as we see some threes-up players trying to go for the boost. They might have heard Nitro there if that grenade connects onto him, but he moves in there, he catches the kill onto Abe, and he could pick up a rifle on the ground. He's going to find this, and now he's in enemy territory, moving right in here. Thankfully, nobody else from threes-up is going to be there. And they can prevent a disaster off of that one, because they can get a pretty good idea as to where he's moved towards, but still, that's a very nice early pickup here. Fugly, too, tries to move forward, but gets a shot to the face from Arya. And now they're going to look to sort of reestablish the status quo here as they bring it into a 4-on-4, but going to be very careful. Nitro specifically, he's got the only rifle on this team. Spots one player, I think, but he doesn't really execute upon this one now as he's trying to move in, catching this player from boost, but still no armor on his body, so Professor Chaos takes him down pretty easily. A good response for Adren here as almost takes down Professor Chaos, but he's going to sit nice and stable behind that area. and will survive this encounter with 13 HP in this now 3-on-2 situation. And Mo actually clears the A site. He's like, guys, come over here. But unfortunately, that's the team is like, nah, man, you got that. We're going to move over towards the B site, and they'll go for the plant there, and it leaves just Hiko, of course, to try and clutch this out in a 1-on-3. Of course, not with a whole lot of hope, considering he's stuck right in the middle of everybody else from 3s up.
Looked a little bit scary as a couple of Liquid members were almost able to have huge flanks on that round, especially Nitro with the AK-47, but Jason R and Professor Chaos keep their eye on it, and they eventually stabilize, and from there it was just all Mo picking one off on that A bomb site. And just Hiko, I mean, his only real option here is to push up towards mid, see if he can gather an AK-47 that's fallen. There is one right beneath the drop box, but that's being guarded. Actually, no, Mo's in A main, so Hiko could actually get this AK-47 and just save it for the next round. That would be huge, because the economy for Liquid is not strong. More than likely, they're going to be on a force buy next round, so he does find this AK-47. He's got to win that battle. There's only 2 bullets in the AK-47, and he lands him on a PC. So that's a nicely done round by Hiko there, salvaging whatever he can.
And he is going to sit back there, nice and stable in that cubby. Liquid, of course, now tying things up against 3s up. Big comeback from these players, of course, because of Liquid forcing things up in that second round and trying to go for the buy and then losing it, and then trying to do the same thing again almost in the third. They really pushed the economy, and that set them back in a very big way. So 3s up were able to pick up quite a few rounds early on. They had a little bit of a bump, of course, in round 5 when we finally saw the guns getting in the hands of Liquid, but they restabilized very quickly after that, and now they win 2 rounds in a row. Liquid, again, still not really at a stable point where they could buy here, so they've got a little bit of extra utility, a couple upgraded pistols, and Hiko, of course, with the scavenged AK, but beyond that, and the armor on Hiko and Fugly, they don't really have a whole lot to work with here, and this should be a strong round from 3s up.
Well, they did it smart as well. Elige is going to keep pushing up towards B. There's one in middle who's hearing all these footsteps. That's Arya. He hears him coming, and Elige can't win that battle. It's a committal over towards the A bomb site. Fugly's got to come up huge around the edge of the smoke. He spots one coming out door, takes some shots. That allows Adren to get into the bomb site. He runs through his smoke, though, and gets completely lost. And Arya and Professor Chaos just mow a couple down. There goes Hiko from Jason R, and it's a clean sweep. Looked a little bit like Team Liquid could have mounted a defense there, but everything falls in the way of 3-up.
And now they pick up quite a couple nice headshots there, too, to finish that one off. Some good plays from them. And Liquid, unfortunately, try to make these aggressive movements. And this has kind of been the whole high for them when they try to play aggressively. There's been a couple of cases, specifically Nitro, of course, when he pushed through on that full eco round and picked up the AK, where that may have potentially led into something, but almost every time it just hasn't gone well. This aggressive strategy from Liquid, or at least trying to get aggressive in the mid rounds, hasn't worked out well for them at all. But now they're able to get the guns back into their hands, of course, here. Try for another round once more after 3s up. Now lead them 12-11 at this point. And this could be a very crucial round, because they drop this round. You can already see here back over onto Adren. He's had to go for a glass cannon buy in that regard. The rest of the team, they don't really have a whole lot of cash. And they're even not on that full losing bonus as of yet. So this is probably going to lead into another eco or potentially a force buy without any utility whatsoever if they drop this one. And 3s up could be leading by a very, very big margin if they end up coming out on top here in this gun round.
Adren's fortunate to get away with his life. He gets caught jumping over that middle box to try and do any kind of scouting whatsoever. He's got an op with no armor. Very easily could have fallen. But still, 3-up. They haven't really done anything yet. They do have Arya inside the vents right now. He's making a little bit of a distraction. Meanwhile, everyone's rotating over towards the A site where Fugly is boosted. So this could be the one. This could be the defense between Fugly and Nitro that just holds off this attack if 3-up doesn't clear it properly.
Fugly now going to wait for that push to come in. No flashes come out, and Arya finds the opener, but Elige as well. He's going to be able to hold things off on that B site. Takes out one player, and now Fugly picks up one, quickly traded out by Professor Chaos, and the take is going to be on. The A site defense completely just falls with no response as Mo picks up that kill over on the Nitro. The rotation's coming in from Liquid, but they don't really have anything to work a retake with. Elige with a single flash might try to look for 1 or 2 lucky kills here. Completely flashes Mo, but he actually gets behind cover, and Elige almost actually taking him down. He brings him down to 58 HP, but now they're shutting it down. Adren pick up 1 kill. Mo found a response over onto Elige, and now as Adren moves in, he's made so much noise, they should be able to easily figure out where he is, and A flanks him out there, picks him down, and there's another round for 3s up. They lead 13-11. This is going to be a very difficult round for Liquid to get anything significant bought up, and more than likely we may end up looking at 14-11 in just a second, with 3s up being only 2 rounds away from winning this matchup.
Yeah, normally I would say that this pause makes me a little bit interested to see if Liquid is actually going to force buy here, try and win this round. But I mean, 3-up is taking complete control of this match, not only in terms of the score but in terms of the economy as well. You see it, Mo is at 8,800, Abe's at 6,500, and with this pause, I mean, I would imagine Liquid, their best opportunity, in my opinion, is to do a little bit of a half buy light armor, some upgraded pistols, spend about $1,500 to $1,600 in the round, and see what you can make happen. Get aggressive, try and make a play, try and do a pop flash in A main when you hear one, just be patient. But they want to have, once 3-up, if they do get to 14 rounds, you want to be able to have a full buy in the next round. Force buying here is essentially gambling this entire match on winning this round.
And one of the biggest problems, too, as we talk about more of the half, as we've really seen threes up come back in a very big way, of course, besides the economical issue, which set Liquid behind from the start, is even when we see them get the guns in their hands here, 2-3s up, almost always finding the opening shots, almost always finding the opening kills here, and Liquid just don't seem to be able to trade them out that well. That A site defense, too, again, when we see those guns get into their hands, just doesn't really seem to be, like, there that well. The threes up often find very easy routes into the A site, and Liquid, of course, again, also with the same problem that threes up had there, too, at the beginning of their first half. They're a little bit slow on those rotations. They don't seem to be able to get to the site quickly enough to adequately defend it or even retake it in most cases.
Yeah, I mean, the key also is that, Team Liquid, they've only won one gun round in this half. Even all their buys have been very light buys. They haven't really had anything solid. Dren has an AWP, but he's got no armor behind it. They've got some N4s, but they have no kits. They don't have enough nades to survive throughout the entire round to block off choke points. So, I mean, threesup is just fighting whatever they want anywhere. And Team Liquid tonight on both maps, on both Dust 2 and Cash, they've had halves that they just kind of get completely beat up. You think that CT side on Dust 2, now there's CT side here on Cash. Both of these defensive halves have been exploited completely by their opponents tonight.
Well, we are going to get it on pause now, and it doesn't really look like Liquid are going to go for too big of a buy-up here. There's a couple of armor buy-ups, specifically on Fugly and Elige. CZ is getting tossed out here. But Dren also going for the buy-up on a 5-7, and Hiko working with a Deagle, but there's no armor behind either of those. And in terms of grenades and utility here, you've got one smoke and two flashes, and that'll be used, the smoke at least initially. As soon as they hear any footstep or anything, probably will be used to block off A main, and there we go. Now it's already going to get used very early on. And it doesn't even look like we're going to see a path being taken over towards A main, at least at the beginning of this. Threes up go for very quick mid control, and Liquid can't do anything to stop that, so they actually have to leave that completely open at the beginning of this.
Yeah, the other thing they really have going for him is Nitro's 100% pushed up in door. He's got so much information. He hasn't spotted anything quite yet, but there he is. He gets a dink onto Abe long range, is able to finish off the kill and fall away. He survives as well, so 5-on-4, but that prompts threesup to just go straight through the vents into this B bomb site. They're going to split this site. You see a full rotation from Liquid, so this is going to get scary for threesup in just a moment.
And Liquid as well, more players from them are going to be rotating into this B side. Fugly gets in, that smoke is not perfect, and Elige holds the corner anyway, takes down Arya. They're having a whole lot of trouble on threes ups and getting into the site. Fugly as well now has an AK, and Professor Chaos moves in. Hiko with the two shots out of nowhere, and the third! What a Deagle play from Hiko, he just cleans things up from threes up, and Team Liquid managed to maintain with probably one of the weakest buys we've seen from them yet.
Yeah, what a disaster for threesup. Now they've just given Team Liquid a huge avenue right back into this matchup. They've got to win this round. They've got to reset the economy from Liquid, but winning that save round means there's a lot of money built up. Hiko, he salvages a weapon. He still has $4,300. Adren and Fugly are both sitting around $3,000, so there's some money built up now on this Liquid side. They have 4 kits. They have all the utility they need. They have upgraded weapons as well, so threesup, this just got scary.
And Elige is now going to get a little bit more aggressive, going back to some of that play we saw earlier. I believe that was from Nitro, but Elige lands himself just outside of the door, using that smoke for extra cover. And also, very early on in this round, we've already seen damage done to Nitro here, too. He's sitting down at just 17 HP with a little bit more return ammo, but overall here, that could be very good if they do go for the rifle take on this side, as Nitro won't really be able to hold it all. Now the smokes come in. The door is going to be open over here towards Squeaky, but no movement from Professor Chaos yet, and Nitro taking a big risk on being boosted up here. Thankfully, it's a headshot spot, so that 17 HP should be able to keep him alive regardless, but he picks up almost one. Brings Jason R down to 12 HP, but it's not going to be enough for a response as he gets the kill onto him anyway. Now Fugly trapped in between the fire and the smoke. He moves out, though, looking for that kill of Ron and Jason R, but Adren's actually going to find him first, and as they try to move in, it's very, very slow. You can see Abe just walks into his own death from Fugly there. Fugly still holds his corner, but Arya picks up the kill this time around. Now just 2 left from Liquid as they start to push in. That plant's going to come out here in just a second. Adren looking to get back control of the forklift. If he wraps his corner quickly enough, he can find that kill potentially over there onto the outper from the T side, which is Mo, but Mo's gonna finish it off there, gets some nice damage with the pistol, and he picks up the final kill as well. Threes up, 14-12 now, as they keep that lead going, and Liquid, again now, the economy will be reset.
Mo is making massive plays for his squad right now. Every time a crucial point comes in any of these rounds, it's Mo picking up a double or a triple kill, so he's having himself one hell of a match. His return back into the professional Counter-Strike scene is going very, very well.
Indeed it is, and there's Mo hype all over the chat right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because I talked about Liquid's A defense on this map is generally very, very solid between Nitro and Fugly, but tonight it's just not working out. threesup doing a great job of neutralizing it, not pushing the envelope, not forcing fights through smoke, trying to overtake the bomb site, and they're just picking off all the rotations, all the support, and that's isolating Fugly and Nitro in that bomb site, and they really can't do too much.
And for Elise this time, too, again, he's one of the 2 players from Liquid that weren't really able to afford a full gun buy up here. He's sitting just on a P250. He's got armor to work with it, so fortunately he's not going to have to deal with aim punch in his face. That'll be a bigger problem for Nitro, of course, but at the same time, he also has the armor with the CZ. The other 3, though, specifically Fugly, pushed up to the forklift. Adren back over here on Highway, and Hiko all alone on the B site. Team Liquid, though, have predicted this very, very well. They've got enough players lined up to counter out the actual push, which, if it goes the current plan, it may end up just going on to the A site there anyway. And Elige, again, not really going to catch into the action, so he'll have to be very, very quick on that rotate. Or if he goes through middle, might end up meeting an early fate to Ari as well, who is going to be sitting back watching out for any sort of flank that could come in from Liquid once they start this take. But they move in. Fugly picks up the first kill. Nitro finds another one, and it's so strong on the hold. They can't even get through the A main doorway, and now Fugly takes control of the locker room. The bomb goes down. Arya does pick up one of the players there, that being Elise that we talked about before. And Nitro finding another one, almost catching that last one there as Abe jumps out, but he's going to get the kill into Nitro. Thankfully, there's that double spray that comes up from Fugly, along with Adren there, and they are going to be able to pick up the final kill without any further deaths on Team Liquid's side.
Yeah, and this is this is just so back and forth. And now, I mean, 3Sup's the one that has a decision to make. They're going to buy out this round. You see Mo buy up the AK-47. So, I mean, that's the thing. Can he have as much of an impact for his team with an AK as he's had with the AWP? Because they're going to need it this round. Professor Chaos and Abe both on the Tech 9s. I mean, this is going to be a struggle round. Adren salvaged the AWP, and Team Liquid just barely staying into this match, just clawing their way back into it. And they have a real good opportunity to equalize the scoreline at 14-14 here. That time the A defense holds strong. That was the first time we've seen that aggressive pot flash and peek into A main, and it works wonders for Liquid.
So what could be a very, very crucial round here for both teams now, and 3Sup have had their economy sort of detrimented now in a very big way too. Rifles as all they've been reduced to. Moat, thankfully, still very strong, so he's able to pick one up. But for Professor Chaos and Abe, they're back down onto those Tech 9s, and both of them are going to work in through Squeaky now to try and find some opening headshots through upper or back over here in the quad quarter. They don't pick it up, and Adren finds the opening up shot. Fugly's going to fire on PC, moves through, and he thankfully is going to get shut down very quickly from Adren, but he does at least get the one trade. But beyond that, nothing else is going to be found. And Nitro and Adren very, very quickly end things once again. They're Liquid will tie things up. And now we've got a very, very close game to end it once again. But for 3Sup, as we already talked about, the economy's gone. They have nothing really to buy up here, so they're going to have to make the decision. Do they go for the force buy and hope that on maybe a Tech 9 Ira buy, they can swing it back and pick up the 15-point first, or do they save this time and try to go for that full buy up on the final round to try and take it into overtime?
Yeah, and because they decided to force buy that round, I mean, this is an opportunity now for Liquid to go up 15-14, and then 3Sup is playing for overtime. So a little bit of a scary spot. They try and do a fast boost. There's a Molotov there, so Elysia Nitro just mow players down, get some free kills. Hiko does fall over towards B, but very, very quickly, just down to Jason R in a 1-on-4. And he's only got a Glock, so there's zero chance of him winning this round. As the smoke fades, he's going to try and play with it, but a new one plumes right in front of him, and he's dodging bullets as they get spammed through, somehow.
He's just like, let me creep out here, baby. And nope, that's not going to happen. Nitro very quickly eliminates him, so there's the 15th point for Liquid going onto the board now. 4 players alive, too, so pretty clean. Not a whole lot of rebuys coming out, and I'm assuming this is going to be the 3Sup pause that comes out just so they can really solidify what kind of strat they want to bring into this final round here to try and tie things up.
Yeah, but once again, there's gonna be no op on Mo's hands, and that's the big thing. I mean, their A takes have been successful because when they do that smoke wall over at the A bomb site, Mo's just able to take a perch over by forklift over an A main, and he's just able to snipe down towards truck and get some nice picks. But without that, where are those kills gonna come from? Because he's been their impact player, no doubt. I mean, he's only got 25 kills. His closest players have, I mean, Arya and Professor Chaos are both at 20. So, I mean, it's not like anyone's slouching, but he's been the ones with those impact kills that allows those bomb sites to be taken. Now he doesn't have the op. So what do they turn to?
He's got absolutely nothing, to be completely honest here. They're going to have to toss an AK onto the ground for him, and that's going to be everything that they have. So as you mentioned before, some of these players are going to have to come out in a big way for Team Liquid here too. We take a look. Hiko, for some reason, doesn't have a ref yet, but there is going to be an op on the ground. So also Team Liquid moving towards this type of setup here now. He's actually got the choices. Both guns are on the ground now. There's an M4 and an op for him, so he gets to pick up either one, and they'll have a very strong setup either way there. And Liquid overall just looking like they may be able to shut this down with relative ease. Even for 3Sup, I mean, you look at utility, they don't really have any mollies or anything to work with either. It's all just smokes and flashes, and for some reason they've picked up a whole lot of decoys here to maybe try and trick a couple opponents.
Oh, those decoys will do nothing.
Oh, I know.
Those decoys will do
I said maybe.
I said maybe. But now we see a double off setup. Hiko and Adren both pick one up, and Hiko's just blasting that M4 in the op. He's carrying them both over towards the B bomb site. You maybe take a shot and then quick switch to the M4, lure him into a little bit of a trap. But you can see all of 3Sup Abe lining up for a smoke, as well as Jason R over at this A bomb site. Does look like it's going to be a delayed A hit. Actually, they're going to throw the smokes, and they're going to rotate back towards this B bomb site, hoping that Liquid's going to bite, and they do just a little bit. It's only Hiko in this B bomb site. Alicia's completely rotated towards mid. Hiko has so much issues.
Alright, you there?
Yep.
Oh, sorry about that. I had a bit of a lag spike. But anyway, as we go into this, of course, 3 players up the line for Threes Up. It gets traded out one-on-one there, and now this leaves it even. But the players from Threes Up do maintain control of the B site for the time being. We're going to look at Adren very, very close quarters as he sits up in heaven, but as far as the rest is concerned, he goes for the blind shots. Jason already is in there, but he can't find it, and now that buys all the attention, though, and that's a great play from Adren because that picks up all of that, and now we can see that easy kill comes out from Nitro on the way in, but Professor Chaos, he's still got the op. He's still trying to hold, looks for the shot, but Adren picks it up as he tries to go for the peek. He goes, but he doesn't see the Threes Up. Dave is right behind him, but Fugly is going to end up closing it out. And it's going to be a little bit close in that defuse, but I believe they have enough time, so Liquid will end up coming out on top near the end of it. A little close, but I think they've got it. Yep, this should be good. So there you go, 16-14 is going to be the final score, and Liquid will just barely squeak by in this matchup.
Yeah, they had to claw that back into that match because actually, I mean, 3-Step had a massive advantage at one point, but Liquid, I mean, just with some traded rounds, they won an eco there towards the end, just pistols, and that's kind of what propelled them to that victory. So, a couple, despite losing to Cloud9, Liquid has a couple really good matches where they claw themselves back into that first match at a huge deficit, bring it into overtime. This time around, they claw themselves back into it and win it in regulation. So that's nice stuff from Team Liquid, but also Threes Up. I mean, that was a good first showing for that roster. So good match from Mo as well. So we'll have to see where that team's going to go, but all things were positive there.
And our next match, guys, should be coming up here in just a few minutes. Our final match of the evening will be just a second. It's going to be Conquest versus Threes Up, so they'll get their second chance to test themselves now against a team that's a little bit more on their level. So we'll see how that one rolls. Stick around for more Pro League coming up in just a couple moments.